Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today I just got back from watching Wes Anderson's Asteroid City, and so I gotta say up front, because I feel like it's very important here, I was under the impression that I had never seen a Wes Anderson movie before. It's someone that you always hear their name about in conversations and online and stuff, but it's just never come across me, right? Like I've never seen it streaming anywhere. I've never gone to the theaters to see these movies. Turns out I have seen one. I saw the Fantastic Mr. Fox movie way back when it first came out in theaters. I barely remember it, but I did. I have actually seen that one. But yeah, this is so I don't know much about this guy's style other than what you see from like a cultural osmosis, right? Like you see what if X-Men but Wes Anderson? What if this but Wes Anderson? And it's always basically just this kind of quirky, weird, like everything's in bright pastel colors, I guess. Everything's just got sort of this old school, almost like Americana type vibe to it. And that's just sort of his thing, right? Like that's just what he does. So I didn't know what I was getting into with this movie. Like I think I had seen one trailer a long time ago where it was just like this town that had this asteroid and then something about aliens, and I was like, okay, this might be like a quirky, weird movie, but it's about aliens. This movie was something else entirely, and I gotta be honest, I'm still trying to process what the hell I just saw. So yeah, just if you haven't seen a Wes Anderson movie, I'm not sure that this is the best one to watch first, because I feel like I was just thrown into the deep end of a pool here, and there's a lot going on, and I'm like, whoa, what? Why is this happening? So here we go. Basically, the movie that we're watching is actually a play being set up by a narrator, and we kind of go into the writer of the play and how the actors got cast in the play, and then those are all like black and white sequences that are sprinkled throughout the entire movie, and then the actual bulk of the movie, the colored parts that you see in the trailer, that is the actual play itself. So that's why, all the buildings and everything sort of looks like a set, but also doesn't look like a set. Like everything sort of looks like it's made out of, really flat plywood. But at the same time, it's kind of, it's in that weird, vague reality where it's like, okay, we're told that this is a play and that these are just actors, playing on this stage. But at the same time, like some of it's clearly not on a stage. So they're kind of messing around with reality, and this is not the only time that this movie does that, because basically the further it goes there, especially towards the third act, there's parts where it's like, okay, so the actors are leaving the set, they walk into the background and they open a door, so it's like, okay, so you got like a Truman Show kind of thing going on where they are actors on a giant set, I guess, but then they're talking to people. It's clear that they're still on a set, even though they're supposed to be like in the in the real world now. It's very strange. That's the best way I would put this movie. It's strange. There's a lot of really famous people here, and they all seem like they're just friends and they wanted to do a project together, and they made this very strange movie. That's what it felt like to me, because it felt like there's jokes and things that I'm supposed to be understanding here, and they're just going over my head, because like I don't know if you have to be like someone who's really into theater or something to understand what the jokes are, but like I'm like, what is the play? What is not the play? The whole thing is a play, but also, the fact that there is a narrator still talking, does that mean even the black and white segments are also just another layer of another reenactment of stuff that might have actually happened? Like what am I watching right now? But even besides that, the actual story of the play itself, of Asteroid City, it really is just that, in this vaguely Arizona type area, somewhere in the desert, there's a small desert town in the 50s, and there's a giant asteroid crater there, and some people go there for an astronomy convention, and then an actual alien shows up, takes the meteor, takes a part of the meteor, and an alien shows up, and it's this funny looking, it looks like a stop motion, but then later on they showed it to be a guy in a costume, so I guess maybe it's like a blend of both, I don't know. Anyways, and so now the government shows up and they quarantine everyone because, you know, ooh, aliens showed up, and it's the 50s, right? It's weird. And then they kind of just, you know, some people kind of have little relationships with each other, and they're just talking and being, you know, everyone's quirky, you know, which again, that's a very, just through osmosis, I know that to be a very Wes Anderson thing, where like, hey, all the characters are just kind of weird and quirky, and no one really talks like a normal human being. I don't know why, but everyone's just got like, you know, they're all trying to out weird each other, you know, like how strange can you be? I bet I'm stranger than you. We're gonna have a whole conversation about life, you know, and just be weird. Anyways, and so they, some people fall in love, some people, you know, just talk for a while, and then the alien shows up and brings the asteroid back, and then they all kind of like rebel against the government so they can get out of quarantine, and then the main character leaves the stage and goes and tries to talk behind the scenes to figure out what his character motivation is. It's just a weird movie. Like, it doesn't feel like it has much of a through line plot, as much as stuff is just kind of happening, and it's weird, and it looks really nice. It's really pretty and colorful, and that's awesome. And, you know, it's got a lot of famous actors in it, so every single time a new character shows up and you're like, wait, I know who that is. You know, but it really was just strange, you know. And I don't know, I don't know what my takeaway from this is supposed to be. I think that was my main thing, is that, like, you know, most movies, they have like a plot and then like a lesson or a message or something they were trying to convey. This movie didn't seem like it was trying to convey anything. It was just kind of, you know, they're stuck there because of the alien, and then eventually they're able to leave, and then they drive off, and nothing has changed or fixed, or no one seemed to learn much of a lesson at all. No one seemed to go through any kind of arcs. Things were weird, and they happened, and everyone, you know, this kind of felt like the this kind of felt like the kind of movie where someone's gonna pretentiously be like, this is my favorite movie, and it's just, if you don't understand it, then you just don't get it, you know. I'm like, I don't think there's much to get here, guy. Like, this was just, you know what I mean, like there's weird movies, but then they still kind of have like something insightful to say. But then this one felt like it was just kind of weird for the sake of being weird, you know. It's like, look how quirky I am, look at these pastel colors, look at me, you know. And I was like, okay, I guess. I don't know, you got a lot of famous people in the movie, so that was something. But yeah, I don't know, I definitely feel like I need to check out other Wes Anderson movies to maybe get this one better, because yeah, maybe I didn't get it. Maybe there's something here that I'm just not understanding the complexity of, but it just seemed strange and weird. Like, they had the idea of like, what if we, you know, made a movie where they're doing a play and then we're watching the play within the movie, and then they kind of just did stuff after that. They didn't have much more of an idea past that point. You know, I don't know, guys. This was a weird one. This was just a strange, weird movie. And the thing is, I always hear people sing the praises of Wes Anderson. So maybe this was just a bad one to be my first real experience of this guy's work, because I'm like, what? This is the thing? Like, I can see how people might want to, you know, put this on in the background because it looks really nice, and they might be like, oh, remember this funny part? Because there are funny parts in the movie, don't get me wrong. There is stuff to enjoy in the movie. There's funny moments. The characters, again, they're all so quirky that, you know, they say funny things and have weird interactions with each other. But those are just like moments. That's not a movie. It's just like a series of vignettes. Things just kind of happen, and then we move on to the next one, you know? So, alright, okay. Anyways, I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought about Asteroid City. If you are someone who knows a lot about Wes Anderson and his style, and maybe you understand what this was going for more, but for me, I'm just like, this was just weird, and it didn't seem to have a reason to be so weird other than, look how weird I am, you know? So I don't know. Anyways, all right, bye.